Hey guys, welcome to One More Thing, a ministry of First Baptist Kirksville. I'm Jason Marlett. I'm also here with Travis Kirkman and Ethan Bray.
What's up?
Hey, we are walking through kind of some Sunday school stories that you might not have heard of before. And this one right here, well, I'm probably pretty sure you didn't hear this one in your kid's Sunday school room, especially if you had a room full of boys. Because this story is one of those stories that if you had a room full of boys, it would have gotten a lot of laughs. It would have gotten
out of hand.
It would have gotten out of hand. And probably, if I'm making bets, it might get out of hand here this morning with us. I'm guessing.
We're mature.
Well, Sarah's taking bets. She doesn't think we're getting through this one, guys. She doesn't think we're going to make it. In fact, she's got the edit button ready and going for this one. Are y'all ready?
Ready.
So we're talking about two guys. They both start with E. The guy's name is Ehud. That's the judge that's going to bring Israel back. And the guy that he's going to judge, the bad guy's name is Eglon.
Sounds like a dish.
Eglon?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the soup of the day?
I'll have the Eglon, please.
The Eglon soup, please.
So we have Eglon and Ehud. So why don't you take us away? Let me start off by saying this. So we're in the Judges. So if you know the book of Judges, here's what happens. Israel does evil in God's sight. So when Israel does evil, God brings judgment upon evil. And the way God brings judgment upon evil is somebody comes and overtakes the country of evil, Israel. This happens to be Eglon. So Eglon comes and overtakes. He's a king, and he comes and overtakes Israel. So now he's ruling, if you will. And then Israel starts praying, we're overtaken. God, please help us. Please send a judge. Please send somebody to overthrow Eglon so we can get right with you again. God hears their prayers, and he raises up a judge. In this case, it's going to be Ehud. And that's where we're going to pick up the story. I'm going to let you start right there. We're in Judges chapter 3 for those of you watching us. If you want to pick your Bibles up as well. We'll start in verse 15. And why don't you read down all the way? And you can just stop in verse 23, I think.
All right. It says, "But when the sons of Israel cried to the Lord raised up a deliverer for them, Ehud, the son of Gera, the Benjaminite, a left-handed man. And the son of Israel sent tribute by him to Eglon, the king of Moab. Ehud made himself a sword which had two edges, a cubit in length, and he bound it on his right thigh under his cloak. He presented the tribute to Eglon, king of Moab. Now Eglon was a very fat man. It came about when he had finished presenting the tribute that he sent away the people who had carried the tribute. But he himself turned back from the idols which were at Gilgal and said, I have a secret message for you, O king. And he said, Keep silence. And all who attended him left him. Ehud came to him while he was sitting alone in this cool room chamber. And Ehud said, I have a message from God for you. And he rose from his seat. Ehud stretched out his left hand, took the sword from his right thigh, and thrust it into his belly. The handle also went in after the blade, and the fat closed over the blade, for he did not draw the sword out of his belly, and the refuse came out. Then Ehud went out the vestibule and shut the doors of the roof chamber behind him and locked them."
Oh, yeah, let's go a little further.
We got to keep going, yeah. So when he had gone out, his servants came and looked, and behold, the doors of the roof chamber were locked. And they said, He is only relieving himself in the cool room. They waited until they became anxious, but behold, he did not open the door of the roof chamber. Therefore they took the key, opened them, and behold, their master had fallen to the floor dead.
Oh, my goodness. So I don't know if you picked up all that. There was some interesting stories that happened there. First of all, if you picked up on the king there, Eglon, what did you find out about Eglon there?
He was a big man.
He was a big man. He's a fat man. Fat man Eglon. So you got fat man Eglon. In fact, he was so fat. Did you notice? Let's learn a little bit about these stories. So
sounds like the beginning of a joke. How fat was he? He was so fat.
He was so fat. Well, that's true. He was so fat that did you notice how long of a sword Ehud made?
A cubit.
Yeah, that's right. It was 18 inches. So he made an 18-inch sword, not counting the handle. So he made an 18-inch sword and the handle. So, and all of that got plunged into the fat of Eglon, and it got hidden. So evidently, that's...
The brother got some rolls.
That's a lot of fat, right? So that's a lot of fat. So we've got the fat man. That could play a little bit of humor. But then how he died is really the role here. You've got this political assassination that takes place. But really, you've got toilet humor that happens here that I don't know if people picked up on. When he died, he relieved himself. And your translation, what did it say again?
Refuse.
Refuse came out. My translation, however, says, let me find out, I think that's verse 22, right?
22 at the very end.
22. This one says, and Eglon's insides came out. The other one says he emptied his bowels. What does the ESV say?
I don't remember. Was it dung?
Yeah, the dung came out.
The dung came out.
So all of this is kind of, well, gross, kind of nasty. Bathroom humor, right? So if you're speaking of this with a bunch of 5th grade boys, 6th grade boys, it might get out of hand, right?
So he was in the bathroom?
Yeah. So again, if you go back,
cool room.
yeah, he's in the cool room. So back in those days, if you're the top of the building is usually the coolest of the room. He's in the top of the room, the coolest chamber. That's usually where they would do their business. That was where he was in the bathroom.
Yeah, because that's what the servant said.
So the servants thought he was in the bathroom. That's normally where they are in the cool building, relieving himself. And that's even what the servants thought, and they might have been up there and smelled a smell because it did say he relieved himself.
And then found out that he died. That's where the saying comes from, like, it smells like somebody died in here. From this story.
So when you walk into a bathroom,
Eglon was here.
That's where that came
so you
from.
could just start saying, like, was Eglon in here?
That's right.
You pulled an Eglon, didn't you? So yeah, that's pretty good there. I guess that's true. So let's kind of bring this in. So that's kind of the story, right?
Okay.
But I guess the question is, why did the Bible preserve this? That's really a kind of a thought, right? I mean, a political assassination, that's kind of strange. And then toilet humor, that's even stranger. So why would cold-blooded murder and poop coming out, why would that be in the Bible? Is it just for a joke? Is it just for laughing? Or is it to make us recoil? Or what's the purpose, do you think?
I don't want to get too far off subject here, but my mind keeps going to, like, and did Elvis really die on the toilet, or was he assassinated? Could have been the same thing. All right, moving on. Okay.
Is there a debate about? I don't even know. Is there a debate about that?
I mean, there's people that think he's still alive. Not me, personally.
You think he's gone?
He's gone.
He's gone. I didn't know that was really a debate. That he was assassinated, or was he? Because I'm about conspiracy theories too. But.
I've watched a couple YouTube videos on it.
I think Michael Jackson's still alive.
Oh, I know he's still alive.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. Yes.
We might find that out soon. But anyway,
let's get back on track.
Eglon's dead.
Yep.
And Eglon smells dead in the toilet, right? Mm-hmm. So why do you think something like this might be in here? Really, Judges is full of stories, right? Mm-hmm. And the reality is, Judges is full of stories that are kind of strange, right? You got Samson, you've got who was strong, you've got some who are clever. You got here, he's really, Ehud is none of those, right? He's just kind of a random guy. What's the big deal? You asked this question earlier. What's the big deal about left-hand guy?
They were kind of looked down upon, saw as weak.
Yeah.
So
you got this, which I'm left-handed, which is hopefully it's not thought that same way today. We're not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we're not weak or strange and get that kind of looked down upon. But yeah, they were looked down upon. They thought they were, kind of weak and different. How about that? Mm-hmm. So I think one thing that God's trying to show through this is even God can use all kind of people. Mm-hmm. So here's this left-handed guy who most people thought was worthless. Kind of think about it that way, that couldn't be used. And yet this is who the second judge ended up being, that God decided to use. So God can use anybody. And then he can also use people in creative ways, right? Think about God. He can use people in creative ways. He didn't use his strength like Samson, right? He used almost his cunningness. I mean, you think about that. He just basically was really slick. I mean, walked in to the king and, hey, king, I got a secret I need to tell you. Everybody walked out. Boom, assassination. and did it. And, that's kind of
And made it like all the way up there to the cool room. Right?
made it all.
It's like a James Bond-esque type guy.
Well, I did hear that like Ehud is somebody between Jason Bourne and Monty Python.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of weird, but he's also kind of like cool because he's like Jason Bourne and Monty Python at the same time.
I get it.
So if you think about him, this would make a really cool movie if somebody decided to portray it that way. But also, I think it also shows that when God decides to work, and when God decides to show, He really wants to show us that He can work through us as well, and He can do something for all of us. He takes unexpected, overlooked, and even left-handed people, and does miraculous and awesome things with us. So when we read stories like this, I think there's a purpose. But one of the things I think is cool about the Bible is it's not always sanitized.
Yeah.
And in this case, literally, right? It's not always sanitized, and I think that's one of the reasons that you can almost see the truth behind it. If you're writing a book and you were just trying to make a book be, that wasn't true anyway, just fiction, you probably wouldn't put something about something like this. But this is just like this is a story and it's truth. Yeah, this is not a sanitized version. This is just a real life. This is what happened, like you said. So that's what I love about the Bible, is it just shows the good, bad, and ugly. The good, bad, and nasty.
Smelly.
Yeah, the good, bad, and smelly of real life. So I think that's one of the interesting things that you see. So this isn't just a poop joke. I think this really is a good lesson that we can get from the Bible. Ehud finally rallies Israel.
Yep.
They come back, and now they're back worshiping the Lord, sadly, for only a short time. And then again, they do the spiral and once again turn away from the Lord, and we need another judge, and we'll keep doing that same thing over and over and over. All right, any other thoughts you got?
That was good.
Good.
I'm glad you brought this one up.
You like this one?
Yeah.
There you go. Kind of a different one. I don't know if you've heard much about him. All right. Well, it's time for our commercials, and Sarah's got a great one for this one. We got new Wednesday nights coming, so check this out and watch this.
Thanks, guys. Hey, if you're not already joining us on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. for midweek services, summer's a great time to start. This Wednesday night, we're kicking off a brand new summer series where Pastor Jason and Travis are going to be tag teaming and teaching us some really great things. So go ahead and put it in your calendars. Don't forget to make plans to be with us for midweek services happening every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. And there's a place for every single age group. We'll see you there.
Listen, I hope everybody shows up on our Wednesday nights. It really is a great time to grow in your faith, and it's a great time of discipleship. So, hey, we're going to rock and roll, aren't we?
That's right.
Make sure you're here. All right, well, anyway, Sarah, what you got for us? This is our first family fun time, so we have no idea what's up, so tell us.
All right, we've done a couple of games lately, so I thought we'd go back and do some Q&A.
Okay.
I got a couple of questions from somebody a few months ago, and I've been hanging on to them. I added some to them, but they're pretty good. So we'll go ahead and get started first. Well, I'll just ask this. This is yes or no. Do you like your name?
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, well, if you could rename yourself, what would your new name be?
Okay.
I always like to pretend I have like an alter ego, and it's my name backwards. Sivart Namtruc.
Can you say it again?
Sivart Namtruc. So if I ever go missing, right, Google the name Sivart Namtruc. You'll find me probably deep down in Mexico or somewhere like that.
Sivart Namtruc.
If you ever like check in a hotel and use an alias,
Yeah.
that's what.
Sivart Namtruc.
I can't go.
I
nothing
can't.
with that.
Yeah,
Let me think.
it's a hard one to follow.
All right, well, see, what would I try to name myself if I came up with a name? So, like, I'd name my kids all the things that I would probably name that I liked. So,
Which of those would you take?
no, I can't name. I can't say which kid's name I like the best.
It's a trap.
Yeah, that's a trap. Let me think. You go ahead for a minute if you
Yeah,
got something.
I almost went by my middle name, Micaiah, when we moved to Macon when I was in 6th grade, so I'll just say Micaiah. But my nephew's named Micaiah now, so now it would kind of be weird.
Yeah.
But
All right. I guess if I could just make one up, I would just kind of say I'll take Bob.
Good name.
I don't know. Because, I don't really, I like my name, so. But
I mean, I have your name spelled backwards if you want to read it. And it could be, oh, sorry, hold on one second. It could also be your,
my alias?
your, yeah. Let's see, Nilram. That bottom one there.
All right, my Nosaj Nilram. Nosaj Nilram.
Osage Nilram.
Nilram's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nosaj
Nilram.
Nilram.
Osage Nilram. Sounds like,
Nosaj
I don't know, where would
Nilram.
that be from? That,
Like Spain or something?
Spain? Or, I was thinking maybe like Russian or something.
Could be Russian. I'm
All
I'm
right.
a Russian spy.
We're going to
Nosaj
keep all
Nilram.
these pretty light, but what's your biggest regret for the week so far?
This week it's
For the week so far, what's my biggest regret? Listen, I live by it. No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. That's a toughie.
It is.
I don't even remember this week hardly.
No regrets. I have no regrets.
This is going real well.
So I didn't get to go on. You told me I would have really enjoyed going on the field trip with the kids the other day. That they went down to Jeff City. They went to like an like a wilderness thing.
Yep,
and
that's
they-
not the part you would have liked.
No, and then they also went to the government building and got to see all the government.
You would have
stuff.
liked that.
I would have
Yeah.
liked that because I would love to be in the government. I think I would be. I would like to be.
So that's like a past week regret
Yeah.
and a life regret.
Yeah, I would like. I could be a state.
My
I
regret
could
was
be
that
a-
I went on that field trip.
I could be a state representative one day, or
Yeah.
state senator one day, or something like that. So if you're out there, vote for me.
You got my vote. I got you, bro.
There we go.
Mine was probably eating lunch before I went and worked out, so it was pretty horrible.
Yeah, that could be bad.
All right. What's one thing you've done that you'll never do again? Also, family friendly. Keep it light.
Dang. Okay.
Like in our lifetime?
Yeah.
Where to begin?
Yeah.
I mean, is
So
this like
many
testimony
options.
time or what?
Have a set of twins.
Oh no. How about 2 sets?
Have 2 sets of twins. Yeah, that's.
No, you can't say that.
I
Today's
would
their
never
birthday.
do it again.
Today's their birthday.
I would never do it again.
He wouldn't like take away the ones that he had.
Yeah, he just
I
wouldn't
would
do it
never
again.
do it again.
Fair enough.
There we go.
That's a good one.
Oh yes.
is.
We love you, Maggie and Gray, and
Yes.
Annie and Knox.
We love y'all, but we would never do it again.
This is like the last question.
No, it's
Trying to think.
No regrets.
What would you never do again?
Man. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I don't
Next-
moving on.
Next
Yeah.
question. What's your favorite dish from your childhood? And we don't want to know about peanut butter and pickle sandwiches.
Well, that'd be my numero uno. My second one would probably have to be salmon cakes or salmon patties.
Yeah, those are delicious.
It's mine.
I didn't get those on my birthday. We were talking
What
about
kind of
that.
side? What kind of side do you have with salmon cat patties?
Corn and fried taters
Corn and fried
and
potatoes.
bread with butter on it.
Sounds pretty good. Sarah always has like salmon patties and rice and tomatoes gravy.
That sounds good too.
My dish would be I'm gonna have a twofer. So
Okay.
I like 2. I like chicken and rice,
That's mine.
and I also like something called rolled chicken. Those are my 2 favorite things. I like those. In fact, Mother, if you're listening right now and you're in my house, you could cook either one of those this week for me.
And we were also talking earlier about childhood food memories. Fish fry, right?
Yes.
Catfish?
Catfish. I like a fish fry with my grandparents. That was good.
Nice.
Okay.
My first would be chicken and rice from
Hey.
my mama. Or she makes this chicken spaghetti. So it's like spaghetti noodles chicken with like peppers and onions, but instead of red sauce, you get cheese and you melt cheese and you mix it all together. And then it's great with bread and butter.
There we go. I like it.
All right. This one might get you in trouble, but
She's looking
Y'all
at
go
you.
first.
Yeah.
Y'all go first.
If your wife
Oh,
was
dear.
was a cartoon character, what character would she be?
What's
Betty,
the
Betty Bop? Is
Betty Boop?
Betty Boop.
What's that? You know that Roger Rabbit cartoon? What's his girlfriend's name?
Yeah,
Jessica.
yeah.
Jessica. There you go. Ooh, you win. You. All of a sudden, Savannah's gonna be like, yeah.
Probably Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, that's nice.
It's her favorite one too. It's brown hair. It kind of just works out.
All right. What's a fashion trend that you wish would come back?
Listen, let me just say this. We used to live in a time where somebody would wear something and be like, oh, that's outdated. Or they're like, oh, they're not in style. But like everything's popular now, right? You see somebody wearing bell bottoms, they just
You're
wearing
in.
bell bottoms, right?
Actually, what's that girl's name who like sings like
Lainey Wilson.
Lainey Wilson?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
wears bell bottoms all the
Yeah.
time.
You see somebody with like some cuffed up jeans, that's popular too, right?
Yeah.
Horn rim glasses, whatever, right? The
Actually-
old dad 80s glasses,
Well, let me
those
tell
are
you.
popular too.
Let me see if this is true or not. This morning, I put a pair of pants on.
Oh dear.
I had a pair of cargo pants on, and I was saying,
Yeah, those aren't in style.
and Sarah said, "Hello's 1980s,"
Yeah, I wouldn't rock the cargo pants.
and I'm like, okay. So went back into and took them off and put a new pair of pants on.
You might also want to burn those.
Yeah. So
I stand corrected.
thought everything was in style.
I mean,
Not everything.
it's like a you do you type of thing. Yeah, that's a toughie.
Yeah. So Sarah told
Okay,
me.
here's what I wish would come back though.
I wish cargo pants would come back.
I think, and they're already kind of back. They're just not as baggy as they used to be. Parachute pants.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I like that.
Parachute pants. Those were like the most comfortable things in kindergarten that I wore all the time.
I was probably in about 6th grade. I like
Yeah,
those.
I was like in early elementary. Had like lizards on them and like cool little 90s things.
Members only jackets.
Members only jackets. Ninja Turtles hats would be cool if those would come back in style.
Okay.
Wait, I hadn't heard
Ethan,
anything.
sorry.
Ethan.
Like you remember the old school NBA shorts that were like super baggy?
Oh, you want those to come
Those
back?
would be cool. Or you remember
Or go even
for
further
me?
back. Go even further
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
like
Well, that's
John
where we're at
Stockton.
now. We're 1 year away from those, I think. But or when I was in middle school, the Nike Elite socks. You guys remember those? They're like the long socks, but then they had like the 3 dots up the back.
Listen,
Everybody
bro,
thought
my
you were
socks
cool.
had colored stripes at the top, and they went up to the knee.
The tube socks. Magic Johnson.
That's right.
All right, we're going to end on this one. You can give me one or two, but what's a law, keeping it light again, that you think should be passed? Not like serious law.
No speeding.
No,
That is a law.
Would
that's
that-
serious.
That's
Like
it.
you-
No, that's
like you, there is no speed. Like there's no speed.
Oh, there's
limit.
like no speeding
like
at
a
all?
speed
limitless
limit. No
speed.
speed limit.
Autobahn. The
There you go.
highway over
We'd
there.
be dead.
No, I would not. I would be fast.
I don't know about that one.
You love riding with me.
I have to think. What do you got?
I was gonna do speed limit, so I'm trying to think of something else. No taxes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Listen, that is good. How about like, this is a thing going around nowadays. Anyway, like property taxes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if I bought this place,
It's
it should be
mine.
mine.
For sure.
I shouldn't
I'm
have
with
to
that.
keep paying it forever.
You know
I'm
what?
with that.
I'm with that one too.
No taxes.
Because that's crooked. And the same thing with auto tax. Like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
year, I
Already
pay
bought this
personal
car
property
once.
Yeah.
tax. I got to pay taxes on the stuff that I already own.
For sure.
And paid taxes on already when I first bought it.
That's right.
Yep.
I'm going to pay for that every year.
And you
Down
gotta
with
license
taxes.
it.
Down with taxes.
We're
I'm
done.
gonna- hey, let's go. We're just not going to pay taxes
Down
anymore.
with taxes. Taxes gone.
Come get us. You know where to find us. My name is Sivart Namtruc. And yeah.
All right, guys.
Seriously, if you guys have questions, Send them into us.
That's
We'd love
right.
to ask.
You can mail, hey, send them into office@firstbaptistkirksville.com. Sarah, make sure she get them to us, right? Hey, guys, listen, if you want to get this podcast out, spread it out, like us on Facebook, share this podcast on Facebook, and make sure you tell your friends and tell other people. Hey, in fact, speaking of Facebook right now, Travis, where are we at right now? Somewhere around
Like 926
if we
followers.
Got,
Yeah.
Travis has got this goal of 1,000 followers. So help us out. Ask your friends, ask some other people to like our page so that we can get to 1,000, and then we have a celebration and all that kind of good stuff. Sound good? So like us, share us, follow us, all that good stuff, and we'll see you Sunday. All right? Bye, guys.